Alright guys, welcome back to another Opera Omnia video where we're going to be talking about Cor, who's going to be getting a rework and his brand new BT weapon, and also the king himself Noctis. He is going to be getting a big rework and his brand new FR weapon. And we're going to take a look at the changes that these two characters are going to be getting alongside with their brand new weapons, and I'm going to let you guys know whether or not you should pull for any of these two characters in the upcoming banners. So do let me know down in the comment section below what your plans are going to be. If you're going to be pulling for Cor, Noctis, or both characters, feel free to let me know. And of course, if you guys do enjoy the video, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe for future content. And with all that being said, let's go ahead and jump right into it. So we'll first start off with Cor's rework. So his EX now deals an AoE HP attack 5 times that grants free ability use on his following turn. His One of Lucis 3 buff adds the following: a 20% stolen and gained max brave overflow up, a 20% HP damage up, and extends casted buff duration by 1. Now his LD deals an HP attack 3 times followed by an AoE HP attack 3 times. His Reaper's Gale command now deals an AoE HP attack 5 times. His FR now deals an AoE HP attack 4 times. Now his BT effect lasts for 8 turns and provides the following: his Oath of Absolute Defense buff can now be applied to more than one teammate while one is already active. The party is also going to be getting a 50% attack up, 50% brave damage cap up, 20% HP damage up, and a 30% HP damage cap up. Now with Noctis, his skill 1 Shooting Star Plus now deals a single target HP attack 3 times with 80% splash after each HP attack. When attacking a target inflicted with the point blank warp debuff, it triggers his follow-up attack that deals 4 HP attacks. His skill 2 Warp Strike Plus now deals 5 HP attacks. His EX passive adds a 40% Brave Gains up and a 40% Stolen and Gained max Brave Overflow up. His Conjure Armor Gear and the Plus version of that now deals 5 HP attacks. His Armor Gear buff adds HP damage up and attack up based on the stack levels on said buff. Now his LD deals an AoE HP attack 4 times. His Bond of Amity buff adds a 50% Brave damage up and allows him to recover Brave by 20% of the HP damage dealt per attack. His BT follow-up attack now deals 4 HP attacks. His BT effect adds a 30% party HP damage cap up. Now with Zack as his partner, Noctis FR deals an AoE splits HP attack 4 times that grants the Warp Step buff to the party for 2 turns. His FR conditions are as follows: a 40% increase whenever a teammate's turn passes with a leveled buff or a special effect, and a 40% increase whenever the previous turn was an ally's turn. So let's talk about whether or not you should pull for Cor and or Noctis in the upcoming banners. Now real quick, I am still feeling under the weather, I am still sick, but I am starting to recover little by little as the days have been progressing, so I should be good to go hopefully at some point this week. So if you hear some like random cuts or pauses or whatever, it's because of that. I'm just like trying to gather get some air or something like that, because I'm still feeling all stuffed up and everything. The back of my throat is super dry from whatever it is that I caught. Like it wasn't like anything big, but it really kicked my butt. So just letting you guys know. But anyways, so with Cor becomes a much stronger preemptive attacker, especially now that he is going to be getting his BT effect, because his BT effect is going to allow him to be able to grant the buff, so that way if a target is going to be targeting one of your teammates that does have that buff that Cor grants to them, then Cor is going to be hitting them with even more preemptive attacks, especially if everybody on the team has that buff active, and if the enemy is about to hit everybody with an AoE attack, regardless if it's a Brave or an HP attack, Cor is going to be hitting the enemies with a very good amount of preemptive attacks. So take example, with having 3 characters on the team, the enemy is about to hit you with an AoE attack. Cor is going to trigger his preemptive attack not once, not twice, but 3 times. Also, if you are going up against 2 or more enemies and their turns are back to back, and if you manage to break the first one that is going to hit you with an AoE attack, then guess what? Whatever amount of preemptive attacks that Cor did, he is going to continue to do the same thing over and over until the enemy's turn is finally over. So you can see that there is a possibility, there is potential for Cor to be able to deal a lot of preemptive attacks, which makes him such a strong character, when it comes to off turn and everything, preemptive, etc., that Cor is a really good choice to really consider pulling for, just because of the fact that you can actually take advantage of the type of attacks that the enemy is going to hit you. And especially with Cor, like Cor's the type of character like where you can have him on the team if it's not solely focused on an off turn setup, or you can actually put him in the off turn setups. Like Cor fits in a lot of team comps, and he does what he does it very much well, which is why a lot of global players have been saving up for his BT, because it's a pretty damn good BT. And again, for what you can actually do with Cor's BT and that effect that allows you to have that buff that Cor is able to grant to his teammates, yeah, you are going to be getting a good amount of off-turn damage. Again, he is great for multiple enemy fights. His FR conditions, they are very easy to meet. More than likely, you will probably use Cor as an FR Echo while having some other characters are force time active. But again, like Cor can also be used for off-turn setups. So like you can actually use Cor's FR, especially if you know that the bosses are going to be like jumping in a turn order. If they're gonna be like hitting you constantly, etc., then like having his FR active, having his FR as the main force time, it's still pretty good in the current era on global. And again, like he is a strong choice for off-turn setups, which is why I consider Cor to be a very good character. Like Cor, in my opinion, can work in a lot of team comps. He is a very good choice for a 3rd slot unit, especially if you want to take advantage of preemptive attacks, off-turn attacks, so on and so forth, and being able to take advantage of what he offers overall. Like Cor is a really good character to consider pulling for. I'm going to be pulling for his BT again, just because like I really enjoy like what Cor does, what he brings to the table, and how well he fits in a lot of team comps. Like if it wasn't for the fact that, like, take example the Benevelza fight that we just had with the Dare to Defy, if it wasn't for the fact that Cor's abilities were melee based, then like Cor would have actually been a really good choice to consider using in that fight, because of the fact that like that buff that he grants also prevents your teammate from getting broken. So like there is a lot of like pros to Cor that you can actually take advantage of. So if you are wanting yourself a strong preemptive attacker, for those who do not have Cor, if you're wanting a strong preemptive attacker, off-turn attacker with a good overall kit, Cor is definitely an excellent choice to go for any veteran players. I mean, more than likely you guys already know what you're going to be doing, but Cor's BT is definitely, in my opinion, a must-have because of what he does and what you can actually take advantage of. So Cor is definitely, in my opinion, like a very strong yes you should consider pulling for. Now when it comes to Noctis, oh my god, the rework that he got, like they really made sure that the king is going to be dealing damage, and he is going to be dealing damage at his very best. Like, they made sure that he got enough HP dumps within his skills, and especially with the fact that they gave him even more HP attacks on his follow-up attack, which triggers every single time somebody attacks. It's not just on his own turn, it is for everybody, which is amazing. So you already know that whatever abilities that you are using outside of Noctis's turn, he is going to be backing you up with 4 HP attacks. And if you have that force percentage at a very high number, then hey, that's just going to be additional damage that you are going to be dealing, that you are going to be gaining from the king. So yes, he becomes a very strong damage dealer, and I can definitely appreciate that. He is a great turn controller unit with his LD ability, being able to grab the warp step buff, which allows your team, including Noctis, to basically get turns back to back as long as that buff is active, which that buff lasts for 2 turns. So if anything, you'll have about what, 2, maybe 3 turns to be able to act as much as you can before you finally decide, hey, I'm gonna give the enemies a turn to do whatever it is that they need to do. Now, talking about turns, is FR conditions. They are easy to meet, especially if you are going to be spamming Noctis LD. You do get that warp step buff whenever you activate his force time, if you are going to be using his force ability as the main one. So you already got yourself 2 steps right there. When it comes to the other one being a leveled buff or a special effect, if by chance the character does not have either of those 2, remember you can use Rydia's LD call ability, which does grant you those 3 levels, which does not have any turns attached to them, because the only way that they decrease is whenever you evade an attack. So you'll always have at least 1 level of it until you evade 3 attacks, then it just disappears afterwards. So you will roughly get about an 80 to 90% increase, which is not bad for an HP damage bonus increase. So overall, Noctis is a very strong damage dealer. He is like a supporter damage dealer when it comes to his follow-up attacks, and then his own personal damage is pretty freaking good. If you are in need of a DPS character, if you are in need of a character who is able to launch with his skill 1 or 2, I forgot which one it was. So when it comes to the utility that Noctis has with the launching, with the turn control and everything, being able to grant basically like free turns to your teammates, then Noctis is definitely going to be your man. I do feel like Noctis and Cor, I should have mentioned this with Cor, but I do feel like both of these 2 characters are still very much viable in JP now, especially with the fact that we are able to increase the character's stats via the crystal passives, especially if you're going to be working on, let's say, like the purple crystals or cores, which I believe Cors is blue, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, I think it's blue. So like if you're going to be working on like either of the 2 crystal colors in the future, where we will be able to grind the points to be able to increase the character stats, get those crystal passives, etc, etc, then that'll make them a much stronger unit. But regardless of all that, even if that wasn't in the game, I still feel like they are still very much viable to this day in JP. So yeah, you do have you do have 2 strong banners that are going to be dropping with, of course, Lost Chapter. But I do feel like both of these 2 characters are definitely worth pulling for if you are in need of what it is they do provide. But other than that though, guys, that's gonna be it for the video. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. Again, let me know what you are gonna be pulling for in the upcoming banners. And of course, if you guys did enjoy the video, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe for future content. Thanks so much for watching, guys. I'll catch you guys in the next one.